Imagine you're parked in the Midwest and you need to drive all the way, let's say, Los Angeles. Well, you know the general direction, you've got to go west. But would you just jump in the car with no map, no GPS, and just hope to hit the Pacific Ocean before you run out of gas? Of course not. Without a route, you're going to hit dead ends, you'll get stuck in gridlock, and you're probably going to burn through more cash than you need to. But if you have a strategic plan, you can avoid the tolls, potentially dodge the traffic, and get to your destination faster and cheaper. Retirement is a lot like that same cross-country haul. It's a 20 or 30-year journey, and research suggests that having a formal plan doesn't just make you more confident, it may actually improve your financial outcomes by helping you avoid the expensive wrong turns that can sidetrack people without a plan. If you're between, let's say, 55 and 70, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're asking yourself, do I have enough? Will it last? What if the market tanks the day I quit? These aren't just nagging worries. They might be the difference between a retirement where you're constantly checking your bank balance and one where you're actually enjoying your life. That's why we need to talk about having a real income plan. I don't mean a junk drawer plan, that drawer in your kitchen full of rubber bands, and batteries, and old 401k statements. I mean a strategic architecture for your wealth. So why is it so important to have a plan? The research here is compelling. People with a formal plan tend to feel more confident and are generally in a stronger financial position. A recent article from Fidelity suggests that making smart financial planning decisions, maybe with the assistance of a qualified financial advisor, could potentially benefit your portfolio by as much as 5% in additional annual returns. Now, that's not necessarily from taking more risk. It's often from making smarter choices about taxes, withdrawals, and asset allocation. Of course, individual results will vary, but the takeaway here is very clear. Good planning decisions can matter as much as good investment decisions. Let's break down 4 common risks I believe can undermine your retirement and how a plan can help you manage them. So, number 1, a silent wealth drain, taxes. Many of us have been taught, conventional wisdom for spending our savings, and that's burn through your taxable brokerage accounts first, then your IRAs, and save your Roth accounts for last. And it sounds logical, right? Let your tax advantage money grow. But for some people, following that rule of thumb might actually cost more in unnecessary taxes, and here's why. If you spend all your non-retirement money first, you might end up with a zero taxable income in your early retirement years, and that sounds great. But you could be wasting an opportunity to fill up those low tax brackets. Then when you hit age 73 and require minimum distributions, RMDs kick in, you're forced to take withdrawals from your IRAs, and suddenly you could be pushed into a higher tax bracket later in life. An alternative is to use something we call tax bracket topping. We might deliberately take money from your IRA, convert it into a Roth in those early years. We pay a tax now on those funds at today's tax rates to avoid paying a potentially higher tax bill later. It's about paying taxes on the seed, not on the harvest. So, number 2, the Social Security tax torpedo. This is an unpleasant little surprise in the tax code. Social Security isn't tax-free for everyone. If your income crosses certain thresholds, which aren't indexed for inflation, by the way, up to 85% of your benefits could become taxable. Because of how the math works, earning $1 extra can trigger taxes on your Social Security, creating an effective marginal tax rate that spikes higher than your actual bracket. We call that the tax torpedo. Now, a solid plan coordinates your withdrawals to help you navigate around this torpedo. Maybe we delay claiming Social Security until age 70. Why? Because delaying can be an effective form of longevity protection. Available to most retirees, your benefit grows by roughly 8% for every year you wait past your full retirement age, all the way up to 70. By bridging the gap with your 401k withdrawals or other qualified funds now, you lower your IRA balance, reducing those future RMDs, and build a larger inflation-adjusted income stream from Social Security for later. Now, let's talk about the third problem, risk. And I don't mean if the market crashes, I mean when it crashes. There's something called the sequence of returns risk. Imagine 2 hypothetical retirees, Mark and Susan. They both start with $1 million and withdraw the same amount. But Mark retires during a bull market, and his portfolio grows early on, creating a cushion. Susan retires in a downturn. She's selling stocks while they're down just to pay the bills. Even if the market recovers later and they both average the same annual return over time, Susan can run out of money years before Mark did just because of bad timing. Well, we can't control the market, but we can control how we react to it. A retirement income plan can include a cash cushion. This means having a few years of conservative, liquid assets set aside. If the market tanks, you spend the cash. You don't sell your stocks. You give them time to potentially recover, and you stop digging the hole. And number 4, your legacy. Many of you want to leave something behind for your kids or, let's say, a charity. But not all assets are created equal in the eyes of the IRS. If you leave a traditional IRA to your kids, thanks to the Secure Act, they usually have to drain that account within 10 years. If they're in their peak earning years, the IRS could really take a sizable chunk of your legacy. A smart plan looks at asset location. Maybe you leave the taxable brokerage account to your heirs because they get a step up in basis, meaning the capital gains taxes might disappear. Or maybe you convert to Roth accounts now, so you're leaving them a tax-free gift instead of a tax time burden. So the bottom line, do people with a plan tend to do better? The research strongly suggests it's a possible yes. A well-built plan doesn't just aim for more income, it can give you more confidence and more freedom to enjoy the retirement you've worked for. The ones that plan aren't paralyzed by the headlines. They know that if inflation spikes or the market dips, they have a lever to pull. Retirement isn't the end of the road, it's the beginning of a brand new one. Don't drive it looking in the rearview mirror. Build a plan designed to help grow your income, manage your tax burden, and preserve your legacy. Because you didn't work this hard for 40 years just to worry for the next 30. Get a plan, get confident, and go enjoy the retirement you've earned. I hope this has been helpful and gives you some ideas to help you organize a real plan as you head into retirement. If you need help deciding what's right for your retirement income journey, I'd love to speak with you about your situation. Thank you for watching.